బీబీజీ అమరావతి వెంచర్స్ లో మహాశివరాత్రి బంపర్ ఆఫర్ 15 రోజుల్లో ఫుల్ పేమెంట్ చేస్తే ప్లాట్ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ ఫ్రీ. ఫర్ మోర్ డీటెయిల్స్ కాంటాక్ట్ 04069032244.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a remarkable personality in shaping India's technological hub, and his contribution to the world of technology is immense. It's indeed an honor for all of us for having him here in this Amaravati Quantum Valley foundation laying stone ceremony. Honorable Union Minister of State for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, may we request you to give the special address.
The dynamic Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, who is an inspiration for all of us, all of you, and equally as much for me, Shri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garoji, Honorable Minister Shri Nara Lokesh, whom you were just now hearing, and so spontaneously connecting with the youth over here, my very precious and a bright colleague in the Union Ministry, and a fellow medico, Dr. Chandrasekhar, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India and an eminent scientist in his own, Padam Shri Professor Ajay Sood, Secretary Science and Technology Professor Abhay Karnikar, Dr. Amit, Dr. Herrick, Mr. M.V. Satish, Professor Kamakoti, who's now become Padma Shri Professor Kamakoti, Dr. Bhaskar, Secretary, Government of Andhra Pradesh, members of the faculty, dear students, industry leaders, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I think from the bottom of my heart, I have to thank profusely the Honorable Chief Minister. And I have said this on a number of occasions earlier also, that while many of us, not all of us, because being a scientific man, we have learned to speak the truth. Not all of us, but many of us try to live in today and dream of tomorrow. But Sri Chandrababu Naidu Garu lives in tomorrow and dreams of day after tomorrow. And as a youngster, I have seen him right from the times when he was the Chief Minister for the first term. And in the city of Hyderabad, we were not getting a proper venue to hold an international conference of medicine and diabetes. And then somebody told us that in the high-tech city, you have a convention hall. And that was our first exposure to the vision of Shri Chandrababu Naidu. And now all of us have seen over the last 1 year or so, the manner in which the things have started moving on a fast track. I think he is a true vindication of what Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji calls or describes as the double engine movement. When Prime Minister Modi speaks of double engine, one from the center, the other from state, I think the personification is sitting before all of you, ladies and gentlemen. And as I said, we in science have learned to speak not without evidence. I was here even in last Saturday, and I have to thank him publicly also. We have come up with a Center of National Ocean Sciences in Vizag. And the project had been languishing for 20 years. The plan was conceived in 2006. The foundation stone was laid in 2016. But till the present government came over, in spite of our repeated persuasions, there was some or the other stumbling block. Sometimes you wouldn't get forest clearance, sometimes you wouldn't get coastal clearance. And finally, when he took over in his current term, within a few months, all the clearances were there, and last Saturday we were in a position to dedicate it to the nation, which is going to be again converting Vizag into a possibly a nodal region for the deep sea mission, which Prime Minister has announced from the ramparts of Red Fort. And today, we are here seeing the Chief Minister realizing the vision of Prime Minister Modi, who enabled us to get India included in an elite league of just 4 or 5 nations who are into a quantum mission and who have a dedicated, exclusive national quantum mission. We don't have dearth of talent, we don't have dearth of commitment. We, all of these gentlemen over here, all bright brains. But unless you have an enabling political hierarchy, things don't move. And it was because of the vision of Prime Minister Modi. We had a national quantum mission, we have national AI mission, we have blue ocean mission, or blue economy related deep ocean mission. Because now we are preparing India and envisaging for India a global role in the years to come. And therefore, this foundation stone, as was being rightly mentioned by Nara Lokeshji, is not mere a foundation stone of a construction, but a foundation stone of India's quantum future. And all this unveiling of the Amaravati quantum logo, the launching of cloud services, the innovation center, the launching of talent hub, the launching of reference facility, the launching of safe application, that shield and all so on, and the participation of IT industry leaders from IBM, from TCS, and these multiple MOUs, this truly is keeping with the global strategies that we have now tried to follow. This is indeed whole of government, that is center and state, plus industry, plus stakeholders, which makes it whole of nation. Because the age of silos is over. And all the success stories written across the world have happened. And this government has the courage of conviction to open up for wider integration. We have opened up the nuclear sector to private players, which I think till about 6 months back nobody could have imagined. We opened up the space sector to private players just about 5-6 years back, and the results are miraculous. From a dismal economy, today we are $8 billion US, and our projections reveal that we would be going up 4-5 times to about 45 billion in next 7-8 years. And that all has happened because we have learned to integrate and work in a synergized fashion. As was being mentioned by Dr. Chandrasekhar, we have 6,000 crore or so dedicated for this national quantum mission. And Nara Lokeshji started his speech by asking the students, how many of you had heard quantum before 24? Almost none. And the credit goes to you when you ask how many of you have heard, all the hands went up. But I think it's also equally important to tell them why this quantum mission and why this quantum valley from the point of view of a layman. Because in the times to come, it is going to be a game changer for communication, for security, for defense, for healthcare. And therefore, it is essential for us. It's no longer a choice. It's no longer an option. We have no other choice. If you are still working, for example, in the simple language for these students, if you are still working with the conventional computer system or conventional cyber security systems, a quantum computer on the other side is not only faster, more efficient, but could be a huge threat to you. And to be very simple for these small children, I tell you how. You send these encrypted messages on WhatsApp and all that, which are very difficult also to unfold. Of course, the crime agencies do have means to do that. But yes, sometimes it may be possible. But if it is a quantum computed encryption, because when we were working on National Quantum Mission, I tried to study on that. Roughly, it may take lakhs and lakhs of years to crack down that encryption. So you can understand, if the other side has or the adversary has and you don't have, what great risk you are putting yourself and to the nation. So that is from the point of defense, cyber security. In the healthcare system, it was fascinating. Dr. Chandrasekhar will be able to appreciate. You used to have collateral damages with the irradiations in cancers. With the quantum, it is so precise. The quantum ray will move with the moving lung. The quantum ray will move with the moving gallbladder. Until it spots the exact tumor site, it will not hit it. And within a few minutes, you are back home after irradiation without any collateral damage, without any side effects. Similarly, quantum for satellites. So all these things are going to become a way of life. As was being said, I think by Dr. Chandrasekhar, that till about 20 years back when the mobile just came in, many of the cynics would tell you, what is this you are holding in your hand and all the time bothering yourself. Now I find the same cynics being the biggest users of this gadget. So therefore, for these students, for these little boys and girls, there is no option but to have the quantum. And for those of you who are from the background of physics, the difference is that quantum uses subatomic particles, such as electrons and photons. And therefore, it allows the particles to exist in more than one state. Like, for example, when you hear the relay signals, it moves like this. Even on earlier times, when you had the radio, All India Radio, you find the voice going up, then coming down, before it became digital. But here the signal moves straight. And why the encryption is difficult to crack? Because, for example, the password is 10, and you make it 5 into 2, 10. And then the agency wants to crack it. They may keep trying, I'm trying to simplify it. And one day they may succeed. But here it is not so. The 10 could be a multiple of many other figures. It could be 10 into 0. It could be 2.5 into 4. So these multiples, it's almost virtually difficult to unfold the encryptions. So that is the security part, and same also for the healthcare, for communication. And therefore, you can understand why Prime Minister Modi had the vision to launch this. And as was being said, we were already late. I think somebody said that in the IT. But the next industrial revolution is going to be biotech driven, and we are already into biotechnology. In the current budget, we have this biopharma Shakti mission. Because the economy of the world is going to shift to regenerative cycles, to recycling, to genetics, to circular economy. And on the other computing side, to the quantum. And we will not be the late beginners. Like, for example, in America, television happened in 1950s, and we got to see the first Chitrahar, I think, in 1970. It's no longer so now. Now we are among the first few, and we are ready to lead the world. So we have 4 thematic hubs, each dedicated to, one each to quantum computing, to quantum sensing, quantum communications, quantum materials. And the mission has spread it across the country to 43 institutions in different regions, 17 states, and as many as 2 UTs. And the objectives that we have laid down for ourselves are fourfold. A, to develop up to 1,000 physical qubits over the next few years, at the maximum 8 years. B, the communication between the ground stations. C, the long-distance secure quantum communication. And fourthly, the interstate quantum key distribution over 2,000 kilometers. So these are the ambitious targets that we have laid down for ourselves. And the quantum thematic hubs were launched in 2024 September, and startups program in quantum also began the following 2 months in November 24. We have already started B.Tech minor in quantum, and we hope to also start M.Tech. And I was just now discussing with Honorable Chief Minister, given the kind of push and vision that he has, and also aligning with what Dr. Abhay was saying, we could also start those courses over here. Because many of the faculty right now are the self-learners, but we could have just within 2 years. This doesn't take long. We could have properly qualified faculty. We already have B.Tech. We could be starting M.Tech as well. And therefore, the defining strength of this entire interdisciplinary approach is to synergize research, academia, industry, transfer of technology, and to accelerate all these. And we are also in the process of establishing advanced fabrication and central facilities at leading institutes, and which could be accessible to startups, to academia, to researchers. Dr. Kamakoti is here. Their institute gave the concept of research parks, and I'm glad that it's now being emulated across the country. And therefore, I'm gratified to see an ambitious roadmap which the Honorable Chief Minister has envisaged for the Amaravati project, ranging from qubit platforms to cryoelectronics to Q chips to detectors and so on and so forth. And of course, this is an evolving field. What I am talking today may become stale tomorrow. And what I have to think tomorrow or say tomorrow may yet not be known to me today. So we will be dynamically evolving as we move on, but we have the will. And I'm sure this collaboration between the state government of Andhra Pradesh and the central government, the government of India led by Prime Minister Modi, will also motivate other states to come forward and help us to accelerate and to supplement their resources in the national quantum mission journey. And to that extent, and as Dr. Abhay, the Secretary, said, we would always be forthcoming as far as the central support is concerned. And at the end, I'm glad to declare to this assorted audience that today, India starts its quantum journey from the holy city of Amaravati. And that also makes us believe that Andhra Pradesh will be one of the important springboards to India's ascent to the pedestal of Viksit Bharat. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.